is a progression. Like if people look at their health and where they've been for years and years and years in decline, it's a process. It's like taking away a layer and another layer and another layer. And so I would say there's a fear of not progressing, and it's superseding a lot of other things. So then my recommendation to that would be to take that concern and that worry. I even hear that worry of, am I doing it right? Right? These are kind of programs of going, oh God, it's like I'm already expecting failure when failure hasn't even occurred. Right? And so if I had that almost mounting in me, I wouldn't be as responsive to notice other slight shifts. Maybe it's a slight mental clarity that starts to come in. Maybe it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe a slight inner knowing. Like it's just subtle, almost changes in that. But I would love for you to go back to the emotional transformation framework and look at that fear around not progressing, or even you could look at how feeling like I'm failing or not doing it right. And you can write from the place of the mind, and then you can do the process, and it holds higher information, and then there's a clearing process. So it's almost like I want you to be more, these things are cues. Even you feeling that way, it's a cue. It's like taking something in an element and expanding it and looking at it, and there's almost like another release that occurs from here in the process, and then that frees up for another update to occur. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel like it's another job. I want you to implement a few things that actually are sustainable for you. And if you just start to kind of implement a few of these things, energetics will start to move and shift, and then you get more flow. And the more flow that you have, that is the place for kind of hearing heightened awareness, or, more that kind of connection to that inner knowing. There's an emotional component. I feel like you think that you're constantly in the wrong timing. Even where you live now, you're questioning and saying, I probably should move somewhere else. It's like you're always negating what's correct and what's not, right? So it's kind of like I feel like I'm always failing because I'm always second guessing, or maybe I shouldn't be here and I should be somewhere else. It's almost like there has to be like this acceptance that like comes from exactly where you are, and then as that acceptance kind of is allowed to happen, the next steps become easier to present or see. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean you don't move later on, but it's almost like I work with kind of where I am right now. Like a lot of people, they almost maybe get disheartened by that progression path, but there's always kind of one thing to shift, or the next thing, or the next thing, and you've kind of just got to stay focused on that.